All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Timmy B, host of the Fight Insight podcast. It's the best damn podcast that your friends are not watching already. So go tell them to watch this show. On today's episode, I have a very special guest, someone that I've been dying to talk to from PFL Africa. I've got so many questions to ask. It's going to be a fantastic interview. And of course, we're going to touch on the brand new news of $7.7 billion for UFC to go over to Paramount Plus. Get your subscriptions ready. Let's hit the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight Podcast.
All right, baby. There is no Bam Bam Barberina here today. He unfortunately couldn't make it last minute, but we are proceeding with the show. And who else better than this guest? He is a first-time guest of the show. He is a Canadian-Algerian MMA fighter out of Montreal, Quebec, with a perfect 5-0 professional record, currently competing in the inaugural PFL Africa. He's in the bantamweight tournament. He won his debut at PFL Africa 1 on July 19th and now moves into the semi-finals. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it is Karim, the Kryptonian Henniene.
Boom! What an entry. What's up, Tony?
Here we go, my friend. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Good, dude. I am so happy to meet the Kryptonian. First up, take a look at this, my man. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on.
So I have another fellow Kryptonian.
Dude,
it's literally like it is my language.
Now,
Yeah,
how do, wait a
I do
second.
speak Kryptonian if you didn't know, but that's amazing. I have a shirt with all those letters and stuff. Yeah, kudos to you, my friend.
Dude, I've had Kryptonian, like this tattoo, man, is like, I don't know, 22 years old. And like
Crazy.
when I got it done, the tattoo artist at the time, comics weren't as popular back then. Like it's not like the movies and stuff now. And when I was having the tattoo artist do it, he's like, what the hell is this? And so I was like, it's Kryptonese, man. That's what it is. So
Yeah, it's only like fellow Kryptonian that can understand that. So I understand you, my brother.
how did you go with the nickname, the Kryptonian?
I mean, I always like the Kryptonian universe, not the Kryptonian, the DC comic universe. And when I was choosing my nickname, I felt like Kryptonian are like a superior race. And I'm not like, I don't want to be like too, I don't know how to say it, but too, not sketchy, but like say, oh, I'm Superman and stuff. I'm not
Right.
Superman. I'm not, if I can say, I'm more seeing myself as a General Zod, the bad guy, if you feel me. But I'm a Kryptonian, but I'm not Superman. But I'm definitely a Kryptonian.
Hey, look, dude, they're all super strong when they're under the yellow sun. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I keep going to the beach these days.
Who is, now this is going to see whether we're friends or not. Who is your favorite Superman?
Oh, obviously Henry Calvin. Who? There's no
What?
one can. Henry Calvin. Come
You're-
on, bro.
Oh,
Bro, don't tell me you like the last Superman. Otherwise,
No.
I'll say you're super woke or something. weird.
how dare you even say that? No, here's the thing. Because, see, you're a young man. How old are you? 23?
Bro, I just turned 30. I'm born in 95.
You're an old man. What are you doing? How can you like Henry Cavill? I don't know, though, if this is still too young for you. My guy is Dean Cain. Did you ever
Yeah.
watch?
Yeah.
Dude,
I've watched it, but yeah, I feel like there's no one like Henry Calvin. Like, you know, like he brought like that a little bit like darker, more adult
right.
film. You know, when we saw like the remake with how it's called,
What, this new
the
guy?
darker version.
The new guy?
No. Henry Calvin. They did a Justice League with him with the black suit.
Yeah.
Who's the producer?
Oh, James Gunn? No. James Gunn?
No.
Anyway.
Never mind. But they did a remake kind of the Justice League, and this remake he had a black suit, and it was a little bit darker, and we saw Dark Side and everybody.
Oh, yes. The with the Henry Cavill when he was in
Yeah.
the dark suit. Yeah. All right.
But whatever. Could Henry Calvin? Whatever. We don't agree on the same Superman. We're still Kryptonian brothers.
We both did not agree with the super woke version, so that's good.
Ooh.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Look,
honestly, I don't recommend anyone to go see that new Superman movie. From a Kryptonian, don't go see that new Superman movie. It's garbage.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, everything is garbage nowadays. What are you talking about? Like, everything's terrible. But here's the thing, man. I'm watching PFL Africa, right? Because I had a friend of the show. He had come on the podcast, Franz Malombo out of Ireland. He was in the event, and I was interested in PFL Africa because I'm like, this is a big thing, man. And then all of a sudden, out comes the Kryptonian, and he's freaking Canadian. And I'm like, there's a Canadian Algerian in PFL Africa. I'm like, I gotta talk to this guy. And then I'm so happy to see you get that win. And I'm like, this is incredible. Now, first thing, you are Canadian. Are you born and raised in Montreal?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, very nice, my man. And so here's the thing. How do you get to PFL Africa being a Canadian? Now you are Algerian as well. Both your parents are Algerian descent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So then how does that come about that they find you for PFL Africa?
Yeah, so I have my really close friend, coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it, Xavier Alawi. He fight for PFL Mena. And every time he was fighting there, he was always talking about me to the promoters. He'd say, "Yo, I have a friend. You got to put him on the show. PFL Mena. He's Algerian. He's gonna represent good. He's a showman." And like every time he was fighting, he was telling me, "Bro, I'm telling them about you." He was sending a message on WhatsApp about me. He said, "Bro, you got to put my man on the show." And then they did a PFL Africa branch. There was like, well, your friend is from North Africa, and we're launching in PFL Africa. Does your friend want to fight for PFL Africa? And instantly, that he sent me that message. I was like, right now, sign me up. Where's the contract?
Dude, it's absolutely incredible. Now, here's the thing. It's funny that you bring that up because I wanted to ask you about that because PFL Africa, there is PFL Mena, and PFL Mena is North Africa and the Middle East.
Yeah.
So it is weird because when they created PFL Africa, I'm like, well, what about the North African countries? They're already in MENA, but so you technically can qualify for both?
Exactly. Yeah. I qualify for both.
So after you win this tournament with PFL Africa, you could go over and whoop ass in PFL MENA as well. But what is the trophy here? When you win PFL Africa, what do you get?
Well, you get 100,000 US dollar, and you get the African belt, the PFL African belt. So you're the African champ. You get a nice paycheck check, and after that, I mean, you have the status that all MMA fighter wants is to be the best, and I mean, yeah, it comes with all that.
So curious though, you don't think that you guarantee a spot in the PFL America tournament next year? Because that's what some people have said.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. That's definitely if I win when I win the PFL Africa tournament, obviously I will have that option. That will open to me, of course.
Wait, is that in your contract or are you just saying that?
Well, in my contract, I signed both contracts. I signed the PFL African contract, and I also signed the PFL America contract. So I already signed both contracts. So anytime they need me for PFL in America, I can already go and I already signed the contract. I've already know how much they're getting paid in America compared to us because I already signed it both. So I'm already signed it in both technically. So I can already fight in both. Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. Now, when is the next round? So here I'm going to show the bracket of PFL Africa. There you are. You're at the bottom of the screen. Karim, Henniene there. You've advanced to the semifinals. When does that semifinals bout take place?
It will be October 11 against the guy that you guys just saw, Bulgodogo. And the location is still to be announced. So, yeah, I have about 2 months to go. So training camp supposed to start this week.
And who do you train with, and where do you train?
Well, I train at many locations. I train at first off, it's ARC Boxing when I do mainly my striking with Coach Nej. I also go to H2O where I do mostly my jiu-jitsu and grappling stuff and MMA also. For my wrestling, I go at Montreal Wrestling Club where I have the chance and honor to wrestle with George St. Pierre weekly. And I have also a conditioning gym. I go to TriStar West Island, to do some more like MMA strategy with Xavier. And yeah, so I go to 5 or 6 different gyms weekly.
Very cool, my man. And like diversifying, Georges St. Pierre, he's in the MCU. So is he mad that you're a DC fan?
No, of course he's not. He's really happy for me, and he helped me a lot with my grappling and a lot of my wrestling positioning that I've corrected during the past years, mainly because the advice he gave me, and I felt like he really helping me to my wrestling parkour.
Dude, it's absolutely incredible, man. Now, look, I want to touch on something because in the news, there's been so much stuff about MMA news in like just in this last week. It's been absolutely incredible. So I really appreciate you being here because PFL Africa has been in the news. Of course, when you look at PFL Africa, right, when they were doing the posters and everything like that, there's Ngannou, right? He's the CEO of PFL Africa or whatever he is. Then all of a sudden, the news starts to come out that Donn Davis was not happy that Ngannou was nowhere to be found. And so we had been talking about it on the podcast leading up because on Francis Ngannou's Instagram, there was nothing about PFL Africa. Like we never really saw him post about it. He never did any videos, never did anything. And then even on the event, because then people started speculating, oh, he's going to be the main event of PFL Africa. Like he's going to fight someone or something. Who cares? Fight an influencer. I don't care. But I thought he's going to be there. Then he no shows. Okay, fine. But then now news has started to come out where Donn Davis is like, yeah, I'm disappointed that he wasn't there. And so there was a news article. I'm just going to show it up here really quickly, not going to read it. But essentially, you can find it online where Donn Davis goes, yeah, I don't know. I thought he was going to be here. I thought he'd be here. I'm disappointed. To be there for yourself, PFL Africa, did you think Ngannou was going to be there? Were you disappointed? Do you not care because you're the star? Like, what was the feeling there for you as the competitor?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it didn't make any difference. Yeah, I expect him to be there because he was like the shaman or as you said, the CEO. But he wasn't there. But like a couple of weeks before, he had some legal issues, so maybe he didn't want to be there like publicly. He wanted to be. He didn't want to be like from my perspective. He had legal issue and he didn't want to get an interview or anything, so he preferred not to show his face to the public, and he didn't want to get into any interview. That's what I think. So
wait, what legal trouble are you talking about where he got into the fatal crash?
Yeah, obviously, yeah,
but that was kind of a while ago, and then he had talked about he was there with
it wasn't. It was like a month before the event.
Yeah,
it was so fresh, and I don't think he want to get it. Like people, of course, they like there's reporters like they will ask some weird question, and just someone died and he don't want to talk about it. Maybe he feels guilty, like that's what I think, And
right.
other than that, it doesn't bother me. He wasn't there. We got better. We had Khabib Nurmagomedov who was at the event. He was at the same hotel as me. I've shared training room with Khabib, and he was there, and no, I didn't felt any pressure. It doesn't matter who was there or not. As you say, I was the show. I did what I got to do, and that's it.
Now, did you get a chance to meet Mr. Donn Davis? This is a question I ask every PFL fighter. Nobody has ever met him yet that I know. Did you get to meet Donn Davis?
I haven't. I haven't. I don't know where he was. I didn't even see him around the cage. Were he there?
Would you know him if you saw him? Like, do you know what the dude looks like?
Yeah. I saw a couple article about him on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, here's a picture of him. This is his
Yeah.
LinkedIn, so you can go find him. I've been hunting this man down, Karim. I've been trying to get this guy on the show because I want to interview him. But there's Donn Davis. Yeah, it is funny to me that like you would think if he's like the president or the owner of the company or whatever he is, you would think that when he's at these events, especially PFL Africa, where here you are, one of the 16 African fighters building this card, building this whole country, building this organization, why wouldn't he at least go around even into the locker rooms and say like, "Hey, Karim, nice to meet you. I'm Donn Davis. Thanks for fighting for me."
Yeah, I mean they have like someone who was doing that. I guess for
Oh,
him, it's it's like I don't know. I mean, like the big heads of the UFC don't necessarily show up. I guess I don't know if they're like in the time of the Fertitas brother. I think it was mainly Dana White who was like showing himself and stuff, and the Fertitas was a little bit like watching from the back. And I think it's what it is with him.
right. But yes, but then I guess Dana White was more the face, whereas Donn Davis is the face because like of all the other
Well,
owners or
the,
whoever
the,
it
the
is.
face the face is the guy who's doing the face up and everything, with
Right.
us.
Oh, right.
I
Okay.
think his name it's Eduardo.
Oh, okay. Coincidentally, that's my middle name. Now,
Uh,
by the way, by the way, I did realize it's funny because Algeria being in North Africa, it's right across from Spain and from
yeah,
Portugal, and that's where my
yeah.
family's from, Portugal. And I was saying that if in certain angles, you and I actually look kind of alike, and I'm like,
Do
I
we?
wonder if it's, yeah, like even my
Uh, uh,
wife
uh,
was saying like, yeah, I don't know, we do
there
look
we
kind of.
go. There we
I
go.
mean, you're
You have to take the glasses off. 'Cause now you have a costume like Superman.
yeah,
There we go. Now,
it's
now,
my
now, now
it's
now
my
I
Clark
recognize
Kent
you.
costume, my man. I noticed that you're wearing a shirt from Bangtao Muay Thai.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you
yeah,
been?
yeah. It's
Have you
nice,
been?
right?
It's beautiful, dude. Have you been spending time in Thailand to train?
Yeah, I've stayed there for almost 3 months. So yeah, I passed December, January, and February last well, this year and last year since I went there in December. So yeah, it was amazing, amazing. I have no word to describe it. It was my best traveling experience. Tearing that from someone who literally traveled the world, but there's nothing like Thailand, especially their national sport it's fighting. Their national sport is Muay Thai.
Yeah,
So the culture around fighting and how people respect you when you're a fighter. They call you Nak Muay. It's mean like you're a warrior. And like walk around Canada and like you're a fighter, nobody cares. They like there'll be maybe like some Arabic guy. They will be they like football. Some white guys. They'll be I like hockey or football. But there's nobody here that are MMA fans or fighting fans. But in
yeah,
Thailand, the whole culture is about fighting, and it's amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, you're right, man. It's very cool. Like, I mean, but then, growing up in Montreal, obviously you have GSP as kind of a legend there, but how do you get into combat sports? Like, what was your path into it? Because, like you said, it's not the most popular thing. It is weird when I go around to like Muay Thai events and stuff because I train at a Muay Thai gym mostly. Uh, you'll go to like Muay Thai events and then it's crazy because those fans are super passionate about it. But you
Yeah,
ask anybody else and they don't even know how to spell it. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't
exactly.
know, what is that? So how did
Yeah.
you get into combat sports?
Well, I came from a judo background when I was like 5, 6 years old. I started judo my whole life, but I don't know. Like, if I can say, I had a feeling I just need to be the strongest. I don't want like no man to be stronger than me. So I was like, how do I do that? Like, how do I become the best? Because you're not the best if you can't physically defend yourself. If you're the best soccer player or whatever you are, you're not the best. If me and you we're here in the same room, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Like, I can do whatever I want with you. So this is
Yeah.
how you describe you're the best. So I always wanted to be the best. So then I saw an article about George St. Pierre, and when I was maybe like 10 years old, 11, and I was like, damn, how this white dude like does to be the best. I was like, damn, he's the best. I was like watching. I was like, and before George, I've watched clips of Rose Gracie, and this is how I knew what UFC was. But yeah, to come back, I saw George, and I think it's definitely George. Like when I saw what he was accomplishing, I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
How crazy,
I'll be the next.
dude, how crazy is it that as a 10-year-old boy, you have those kind of visions or thoughts that I want to be great? You see GSP, and freaking 20 years later, you're training with GSP and
Crazy,
developing your own legacy.
surreal. It's surreal.
Freaking
It's really surreal. And you know, I had a little. It was a little bit. I think the similar reason, like of George, when I was like before 10 years old. Um, let's say I had a brother who was really stronger than me, and he was always beating me up, and I was like, how can I be strong enough to beat him one day? You know, I was like,
Mhm.
it's not only by doing judo or just doing nothing. You know, I have to find a way to become stronger than you know than my brother. It should be a way. And then I saw George St. Pierre, you know, what he was doing, and I saw a little bit of the reason, and I was like, you know, that's a great way to do it. And I fell in love with the sport, and here I am today.
It's incredible, dude. Because, like, in all honesty, like, as much as we see some Canadian fighters like Mike Malott or Jasmine Jasudavicius, there's not too many Canadian superstars. And so, like, it's really cool that, that you're one of the ones kind of leading that charge. Now, when you were in PFL Africa, I never saw the Canadian flag really, like, they never showed the Algerian and Canadian flag. Did they say, like, hey, when you're in PFL Africa, let's just use the Algerian flag for now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you know, to compete in PFL Africa, you have to be African. Like you can't be like I don't know, like from Mexico or from Haiti and come represent Africa. No, you have to be African. And you know, I'm 100% African. Both my parents are from Algeria. Even I was born and raised in Montreal. Like you know, my color skin and. Everything. Like, I mean, when a white dude see me in the street, he don't say to himself, "Oh, that's another white dude." He say, that's whatever he think I am, but I'm definitely not white." So that's why I'm able to represent Africa and my home soil.
I like it. I like it. Did they give you a test? Did they say who's the current African president? What is the biggest city in Algeria? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't
No,
test you.
they didn't do that, but they asked about my background, and I was like, "Well, I'm 100% Algerian, so let's represent."
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. That's good. I'm happy for you. Now, look, I want to ask you another question. Here's more Donn Davis news. He was also in the news saying that he wants there to be, and you're not going to be able to read this, but he was trying to say he wants there to be a PFL versus ONE FC card. And he's saying we want to go all PFL versus all ONE FC. It's something that I kind of wanted to talk about. Do you like that idea? And then once you win PFL Africa, you could go, yo, I want to be the bantamweight representative of PFL.
Of course, I don't think anyone in ONE FC they have experience that we have, especially if we're doing MMA against them. They're fucked. The MMA, definitely the wrestling is stronger than the striking. You know, you see it every time since the beginning of the UFC, since the beginning of MMA. We always saw that the wrestling dominate in MMA. From Rose Gracie to George St. Pierre to Khabib Nurmagomedov, the wrestling have always and as the Saturday is coming, Hamza Shimaev, the wrestling always dominant in MMA. And when I see that doesn't have the wrestling that we have in PFL, like mainly since it's known for striking. So I would love to represent it, and I think I'll represent it pretty good.
Yeah, dude, I think it would be amazing, man. And here's the thing too with PFL, and I'm trying to be as positive as possible because to be honest with you, PFL makes a lot of dumb decisions every now and then, and I'm like, come on, man, like do this right. But they've got PFL Mena, PFL Africa, PFL Europe, and then the PFL North America or whatever you want to call it. Like you have a whole bunch of different champions. You have all these different tournaments,
Hello,
and if
hello,
you
hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right.
I know you're
Yeah.
you're
You're back.
glitching a
Yeah,
little.
you're back.
All right. You know, it would be cool if like they did do a PFL versus one FC, and then what they do is they take a few fighters from all those different PFLs to like really expose their brand and go like, okay, like, hey, we've got all these different leagues and we're going to take a few from each and then have this mega card. I think it's possible, you know?
It is possible. Like they take all the whatever the champ of
Yeah.
PFL, doesn't matter if PFL Africa or MENA. They take whoever they want, and we make it happen. We do a huge card, and I think that will break numbers.
I think it would be incredible, man. Now, look, I think your video might be glitching a bit, but you can hear me okay?
Wait, I can take up the
No,
you
you're good. You're
know.
good. Oh, there you
Is
go.
it better?
Yeah, what happened? What did you do?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're good. You can hear me? Hello. Testing. Hello.
Yeah. Is it
Testing.
better?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah. I just took off the Wi-Fi so it doesn't
Oh,
get interfered.
perfect. You're good. So, look, here's another thing, though, that Donn Davis did, which I was not too supportive of here. This one was pretty funny. You know how the UFC wants to go on to the White House?
Yeah.
So he proposed a PFL card on the same day. He's saying, okay, we'll do PFL in the afternoon and then UFC can do in the evening. We'll have a whole day of MMA on the White House lawn. But here's the card. Here's the card that he put up. Francis Ngannou versus Nemkov in the main event. You've got Hughes versus Nurmagomedov in the co-main. Dakota Dacheva versus Liz Carmouche. You got some other guy, Ferreira versus Gustav. Then you got all these other guys. One very funny thing, Karim, we're talking about a card on the White House lawn. On the PFL card that Donn Davis says, only one American on the main card.
I get your point. Yeah,
You
you're
got
most
to fill
definitely
that.
right. It's like you can't do like an African card in Africa without African.
Yeah, exactly. Like you got to put some more Americans on the card, Donn Davis. You got to do what I think. I mean, either all Americans or do America versus another country on every.
But I feel like the PFL superstar are not American. That's why
that's the thing.
they have to. Yeah.
Well, you do have some, but you have to build them up, right? Now, who?
Yeah, who's like an American that fight in PFL?
Well,
that
Johnny Eblin.
Yeah, Johnny Eblin. Yeah, he fought on the same card as me in Africa, though.
I know. Yeah, John, because he's an African. He's not.
Johnny.
Johnny Eblin, Corey Anderson, Liz Carmouche, who's the Bellator champion, Jenna Bishop, who's fighting Liz Carmouche this week.
Okay.
There's some, man, but
there's some. Okay,
you just got to build them up.
So I think he should work that way then.
Yeah, work that way.
For potential White House card, yeah.
If it's ever going to happen, do that. Now, look, man, I appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and I want to get to the UFC thing. But before I ask you one question that I ask every guest on the show, what do people not know about you? Like, you're a new guy, you're new into the sport, you're now gaining this spotlight. What is one thing that people would be surprised about the Kryptonian?
I mean, I'm a wild card, you know. I'm not someone who's like, you know, maybe some people will call me cocky, maybe some people will call me overconfident, but yeah, like I can tell you, I will never be like even like I'm a huge fan of George St. Pierre. I can't be as much humble as him, you know. And I know me, so I'm someone who will maybe narc my opponent during the fight, and maybe who know even in the build up. I'm more that type of guy. Obviously, after the fight, it's always all respect, and you know we already give our all. But yeah, I mean, I'm a showman, and my MMA skills level are the best. I'm the best at mixing everything. Some people maybe might be better striker or maybe a grappler, but I'm the best at mixing everything. Bring me the best boxer into the ring, I'll kill him. Bring the best grappler into the ring, I'll kill him because I'm the best at mixing everything. So that's it. That's the show goes on.
There is no kryptonite for this Kryptonian.
Exactly. You nailed
None.
it.
Yeah, get out of here. Look, a question that I ask every guest that comes on the show is a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. And so I wanted to ask it to you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
10. Oh Lord. 10. Since I can't even describe it. Honestly, especially after that PFL Africa event, yeah, that was surreal. You don't understand, I think. Um, the treatment that you get in those organizations, it's nothing like any Canadian organization that you can fight in. Or I can tell you right now, if I ever like, no, I think I wouldn't fight again in a local promotion, or it wouldn't feel right. Like here, like let's say I get to fight again, like at one Canadian organization, it will feel like I'm going back to amateurs, you know? Like they doesn't take care of you. They don't give a fuck about you. They like, I don't know. Like let's say I went to PFL. When I came there first, they paid for everything for me to get there. And when I was there, they give me a good amount of money. They say you can pay whatever you want, like 5-star restaurant. You can do like whatever you want. It's all on us. And the treatment that you get, everybody like, you know, like I was there. They was like, "Oh, Karim, do you have friends that coming to PFL? We have tickets for you. How many tickets you need? Do you have friends, family? We got you." Do you think they will ever do that in the fucking Samurai or Unify or whatever it is? They'll say, "Fuck no, we're not giving you shit." Especially if your first fight, and even I think people who fighting for the belt, they don't even give them a single ticket. They're super cheap. They're super cheap and they don't give a fuck about you. Let's say you need an accommodations or anything. They won't accommodate you for shit here, you know?
Hold on. You can't be shitting on Canadian promotions for God's
No,
sake.
I'm telling you, from a fighter perspective, the treatment that you're getting is nothing like the big promotions. That's a
Okay,
fact.
but these promotions do their best to grow the sport at the grassroots level, helping people grow. And here's the thing, Karim, people have to get out there and support. You know what I mean? Like these organizations are doing everything on the backs of small people. Now, I'm saying this because, as I told you off air before, like I'm very honored and privileged to be able to commentate for Fight League Atlantic, which is an incredible Canadian organization. And I think that they do a great job. Now, I don't know the other organizations, and I've never been to their shows or anything like that, but I know what Fight League Atlantic does. And I'm not speaking on behalf of them or anything. But what I'm saying is that Canadian organizations are doing their best to grow the sport. And like you said, you can walk around in Canada and people don't give a shit. They don't know fights. They don't know fighters. They don't support. I can go to a local Muay Thai show and people don't even have like 3 friends come to the show. People don't support, and that's the problem. These organizations would do a lot better if people start to show up and start to support the fighters. You know what I mean?
I think you can't get my point since you're not a fighter and you haven't tested both. And like from like let's say like just a little point, I can't cut weight easily with sauna. All right, I have a problem with that. So I went there. They say everybody cutting weight with sauna, and I went to see Ed, the promoter, the CEO or whatever, who was his position. I was like, yo, I want to be able to cut weight with sauna. He said, no problem, Karim. I'm booking you another hotel where there's a bath. And he didn't work like, oh, we'll take that off your purse or anything. They were just like, we want you to lose your weight, like how you want. We want you to feel good. And everything I needed, like they was making sure I got it and I felt good, you know? They really like made me feel like good, you know? So
yes, and I understand what you're saying.
You know, just for a second, it happened the same to me when I fought at BTC. I was like, I can't cut weight without a bath, and they were like, we don't give a shit. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to be nice. We're Canadian, for God's sakes, Karim. We're supposed to be nice. But I appreciate what you're saying about PFL being very accommodating for you and stuff. And that's good because, look, they are a worldwide organization. And I'm glad that they're doing that because, you know, we don't always hear the best things about different organizations. So I'm very glad that you're treating you well. And they should be treating you well because you're one of the stars that is in this organization for the very first year trying to build it. You've got the whole goddamn continent on your back with PFL Africa. Like, it's up to you guys in this inaugural season to make this thing work. So I'm glad that they're treating you as they should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm just saying. Like, I'm on your side.
It's fine, brother. I know here you're representing all the Canadian, and you know you're pushing the sport there. There's not many people that doing it, so all kudos to you. But I had to say my perspective, even if it offend you a little bit.
No, dude, and look, hey, I like this. I like being able to banter and argue because, like, that's the whole point of it. You know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course,
I love this conversation, dude. I really appreciate it. Let me ask you one quick thing. Do you you're okay for a little bit more time?
of course.
I
I'm
want
not
to
in a
ask
rush.
you. I'm trying to figure out, like, oh, Ed Davis, is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no. Ed Davis is a fighter.
Sorry, I don't know his last name, but his name is Ed. He was kind of the Dana White of the PFL Africa.
I'm trying to figure out who it is because I'd like to give this dude a shout out. But
Well,
no,
if you have your phone, you can go on my following on Instagram. I don't follow many people, so
okay.
right on my following ED, and you'll find him right away.
All right. I'll look it up eventually, but I want to see because, like, I'd love, like I said, I'm trying to get Donn Davis on this podcast because I want to talk to him. But if maybe this Ed guy is nice, I can get that guy on and talk to him.
Yeah, it's Ed who was running everything when I was there.
All right, Ed, let's see you on this podcast. Look, here's something. Dana White obviously announces, I think, was it today, right? They announced maybe yesterday. They announced the $7.7 billion deal for United States. I found out that it doesn't really apply to Canada, but in the United States, no more pay-per-views for UFC. It's all going to Paramount Plus, which I do not have a friggin' subscription to that, but I don't need it yet. But if you're in the US, subscription to Paramount Plus now gets you all the shows pretty much, aside from whatever they want to do. They said maybe they'll do a pay-per-view here and there. Karim, good news, bad news for that. What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. I think the sport will grow so much from there because there's a lot of people that doesn't watch the big shows because it's too expensive. Like, you know, like, and what you want to do with the sport, and it's to get the casual, you know, if you really want to like to like grow the sport, you got to get to the casual, and to get to the casual, it's not to selling pay-per-view because the casual won't buy the pay-per-view. But if it's already on their subscription, which I think they have like 70 million subscribed already, so it will just like be so easy to watch, and I think the sport will grow so much in the next decade because of that deal. So it's a great news. That's it.
So let me talk to you about that. Why is it better to be on? What will the casuals do though? If they weren't a fan before, do you feel like, okay, so they weren't tuning into ESPN, but now that it's on Paramount Plus, it's easier to see, and so therefore more people might tune in by accident and then they become fans? Is that your idea?
Exactly. You know what? Like that, I know some people like start loving to watch fighting MMA, especially like because it was just on TV. They was just like looking for what to see, and by accident they were watching a fight. They liked it, and they start watching it. So I think that's exactly what would happen with this new deal. You know, they just have the subscription, and boom, there's a big fight going now. Hamza Shimaev versus DDP, and you know they saw it everywhere online. They were like, well, it's already there. I don't have to pay for it. So yeah, I think more people will start watching in, and the sport will definitely grow because of that.
Now, I don't know what kind of loser doesn't already watch UFC though.
You know,
like who
yeah,
doesn't?
what kind of loser watching soccer and not UFC? Please tell me.
Terrible.
Terrible. Homosexual.
What? Okay, Jesus, you are not Canadian at all. What about? I'd love to know your thoughts on men who play pickleball.
Well, honestly, I'm just kidding. I love all the sports, and I'm not like, but
So,
I have friends that love soccer, and I'm always, boy, are you gay? But
dude,
I'm just picking them.
what about
It's nothing serious.
pickleball? I'm asking you pickleball. Do
Well,
you know
it's
what I'm
fine,
saying?
pickleball. It's fine.
What?
You can't even play badminton. It's fine. Yeah.
Pickleball is the absolute worst, Kareem. Pickleball is the worst. Pickleball
What
is
do you
like,
have against pickleball?
because I grew up playing tennis, okay, which
Yeah,
is already not a very manly sport, but you want to make it worse by
I
making it
feel you.
pickleball? Dude, it's
But
terrible.
even tennis, I love playing tennis. I love playing soccer. I love playing all these sports. Like I'm really sporty guy. But to say like I don't know, like what I've always said about fighting, it's what's different about it. It's let's say me and you were walking right down the street, and we see a fight broke down. We'll stop and watch, and maybe we will want to record. You know, there's something crazy happening. But
Mm,
if we're walking and 2% are playing soccer, we won't even like look at it. We will just keep walking, you know, because it's not entertaining. It's not 2% playing soccer. It's not entertaining. Like
right, right.
if I think the only reason why people like tune into it, it's because there's a country behind it. Like it's
Yeah,
Spain versus America, and it's like, oh yes, I want my country to win. But like technically, it's not entertaining. Two people playing soccer, like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kids games, you know. It's like just if you want to play, but 2% fighting, especially MMA, since everything is allowed, it's really entertaining. Because I can guarantee you, any person, if even if they don't know anything about fighting, if they walk down the street, there's 2% fighting seriously MMA, they'll stop and watch because they're fucking beating the shit out of them, and there's something like primitive to us. Like they will be like, oh shit, something going on, and you know, you'll watch it, you know. So
Yeah, yeah,
fighting is entertaining. Soccer and ball games are sport are not entertaining unless
right.
if you just the fact to represent a country and you say, oh yeah, my country is the best to playing balls, but it's not entertaining ball sports.
I get what you're saying, but see, my angle with this whole deal with the $7.7 billion is I just don't understand who's now going to watch. Like, I'm just very confused as to who that's going to suck in, because if you weren't watching for the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, where were you? Like if you don't know that UFC exists and you're not into the sport now, I don't know why being on Paramount Plus is going to change that.
Well,
But
you
no, go ahead.
no, it's just there's a new Gen Z that are coming up, you know. There's the younger that are coming up. They will never pay for a pay-per-view, but if they already have Paramount at home, maybe they start watching it, and you know, you have to think about them too.
I
This is the
guess,
future.
but we all figured it out. So here's my question then. The big question, and I was fighting with people about this online now. Is the UFC going to increase fighter pay as a result of this $7.7 billion deal? Just yes or no?
No,
Yeah, of course not, Kareem.
of
Of course
course.
they're not.
Yeah,
And this is what like
that's
people are
bad.
saying. They're like, oh, they're going to increase fighter pay and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think so, dude. I think Dana White's just going to buy one more car. Like,
Yeah, that unfortunately the sad truth. Yeah, that's the
like
sad
it,
truth.
it's very weird to me that websites or people online and stuff like that are like, oh, this is great. Fighter pay is going to increase. I'm like, are you stupid? Do you think UFC is going to go, hey, Kareem, remember that contract that you signed for 15,000 plus 15,000 if you win? We're going to change that to 25 because we just signed this contract. No, you're still stuck in that contract.
Yeah,
And if
unfortunately.
and if Kareem is on 15-15 because he signed a contract yesterday, just because they sign a new guy tomorrow, they're not going to go, oh, hey, guess what? We're richer now, so we're going to start you at 30-30. No,
Yeah,
they're
it
going
does
to
make
go, hey,
sense.
you're going to go 15-15 like everybody else. It's going to take forever for that pay to increase. I don't think that's going to change a friggin' lick.
I believe they should just give the right back to the fighter to get sponsors. I think that's the only way like that will help a lot. And it's not about increasing their purse. They can keep their money, but god damn, it's their body, like it's their person. Let them showcase whatever they want on them, you know. You don't own them. You own the octagon, you own everything, but you don't own them, you know. Like PFL, they allowed us to have sponsors. I think that's what UFC should go to that path with that new deal. It's goddamn, please give the fighter the right to have sponsored back. That's it.
Holy crap, dude. I feel like you have just broken the matrix here. That is exactly smart because
Yeah,
look, they were doing the uniform thing and all that because of pay and whatever, right? And we knew. But now look, if you've got the $7.7 billion investment, okay, you've got a lot of money now. Instead of increasing pay, which they are not going to do, give the fighters the ability to put logos on their fight kits. Now, it should
that's it.
still be the Venom fight kit. I
Yeah,
think it should still be the same kit, but allow me to put sponsors on the shorts and the shirts. Be respectful of the logos and whatever, right? Like you can't have Condom Depot maybe and
yeah.
stuff like that. But that's genius, dude. I think that would be a great way to go, hey, look, we appreciate now we're making a lot more money. Nothing's really going to change for contracts, but we will give you back this.
Of course, because they always like took something out of them. Now give them back something. And this won't change nothing to their pockets. It will just help the fighter like to be more happy to be there. And that's it.
Karim, you are not just a pretty face. You're very smart.
Respect, my brother. I
The
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
look, I'm gonna add this as my Timmy B's conspiracy of the week. That as a result of the $7.7 billion, the contracts will not change, but UFC is going to allow fighters to put sponsors back on their fight kits.
They have to. They have to. I swear to God, that will change the game, and everybody will be happy. Fighter will finally be able to make a real living from it, like back in the days, back in the George St. Pierre days. So hopefully that's a change that will happen.
Dude, I love that. That's freaking so good. I love that. Okay, look, I've kept you way too long, man. Before I let you go, I'm just going to give a shout out to a few people, if you don't mind. I always like to say hello to some of my friends of the podcast and say what's up to them. So I do want to thank Rageworks Podcast Networks. Go check them out. Rageworksnetwork.com for audio podcasts such as ours. You can go to the Sweep the League Network and Refocus Network. We're a part of them. I do want to give a shout out to Cecilia Bolander, who fought at Octagon this past weekend. She didn't get the win. She got actually very badly injured, but she is okay. And she's been reporting on her Instagram that they're hoping that no surgery is required for her knee. Good friend of the podcast, Big Sam. He's boxing again on August 22nd. Big Sam, he's an influencer, Karim, that we've been following. He's a big heavyweight, and he's fighting again on August 22nd. Go check him out. Friends and former guests of the podcast, King Green, Bobby King Green, Karim. He's my favorite friggin' fighter of all time. He fights at UFC 319. And then Dricus du Plessis. He's been on this podcast before as well. He's defending his title against Khamzat. Can he be the guy that finally defeats Khamzat? That's going to be the big question. It's a huge fight, man. So I'm very excited for that. And then my good friends over at Fight League Atlantic, we've got Fight League. Oh, I got to get rid of this. But there you go. Fight League Atlantic 21 on September 20th in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Make sure you go get your tickets at fightleagueatlantic.com. It's going to be an incredible card, Karim. Canadian superstars like yourself trying to become the next big thing, trying to become the next Kryptonian. And they're moving up the Canadian ranks. So it's very exciting, my man. Look, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really
It was my pleasure. Honestly, we had a lot of fun. It was a nice talk and everything, and yeah, I really liked it, that back and forth. So yeah, it was my pleasure. Nice conversations.
Dude, I really appreciate it, man. And look, I really hope that we can have you on the podcast again. I know Bam Bam is sorry that he couldn't get to see you, but thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's talk again. Good luck in PFL. Ed, I did find someone on your Instagram. Is it Eduardo Kualima, like this white guy?
Yeah. That's him. That's him.
Hold on, let's see. That guy there?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what, Eduardo? I'm coming to get you. So I'm gonna get this guy in the podcast. So he was like the main guy at PFL Africa.
Yeah,
Right, cool.
he's the nicest guys that you will ever talk to. Like
Yeah.
he's super calm, super chill. He don't have a single ounce of nerve in him. He's super chill, super calm. So I'm sure he'll be happy to talk with you.
I like it, dude. Thank you, man. And look, when you see Donn Davis, tell him that Timmy B is looking for him.
I got you, my brother. I got you.
And if they suddenly run out of commentators and they say, "Holy crap, we're missing a commentator for PFL Africa," hit up you.
Comme on va dire en français, c'est comme ça que ça va arriver, comme un train. Bam!
There we go, my man. Look, my French is terrible. I took it to grade 12, but it's terrible. Have a good one, my man. The Kryptonian, Karim, Henniene. Look, man, I am so proud of you, man, for everything that you're doing. Good luck in the future, and thank you for joining the podcast.
It was my pleasure. We'll talk again for sure.
All right, my friend. See you later. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. And that is the show. Thank you so much to Karim the Kryptonian for joining. Look, I am so glad that PFL Africa is doing well. He seems to really enjoy it. He seems like it's a good organization. That's what we need. We need organizations to do well. We need them to treat fighters well. We need them to pay them well. And we need to support these local young fighters, man, and these local organizations. No matter what Karim said, and we're just two guys having fun talking nonsense, man. But like, we need people to go out there and support these organizations, right? That's the only way this grows. If you're watching this podcast, it means you love MMA, or at least you have some interest in these fighters' lives. Support them, man. Go out there, buy their merch, go support them in their fights, support them in their training camps. It's the best thing that you can do. Of course, for me, you can go buy my shirt at millions.co. You can tip me there if you want to. If you're like rich, go tip me. Next week on the podcast, from Great Britain Top Team. We've had tons of guests over there from London, England. Kate, Queen of the South, Batchik, of course, was from there. Vanessa Campos, the commentator slash fighter slash movie star, she's out there. Now we're going to have Chanel Dyer. She fights at Dana White Contender Series on September 9th. She's a rising star, wants to get her shot into UFC. And look, she's going to do it because coming on this podcast gives you good energy, my man. So let's go. Guys, next week, I will see you. Tell all your friends about this podcast. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Guys, we will see you next week with Bam Bam back, probably.